What's up, Barflies? Oh, sadly, this is your last installment of the season of the Barfly Tailgate Show. We wanted to get out there one more time, show you guys our appreciation to, all the listeners, the Bears fans, and the Bears team this year. I mean, come on, man. It's the beginning of the season. None of us thought we'd be in that spot. It doesn't make it any easier, but either way, it's just one of those things. We're going to cover the season and how everything went. Maybe get into some surprising players that these guys thought were, on the rise, or guys that we need to re-sign. We'll cover the departure of Vic, and everybody jumping on that Chuck wagon, old fucking Papa Pagano, fucking Chucky P. Some of the free agent listings we'll roll into, the market, see what some of those dudes look like. We already know the cap's going up 10 mil. We got some guys on this roster that probably won't be back and guys that we do want back. But as you know, my name is Bobby Phelan. I'll be kicking the topics around to the Flygate boys. No show flow today. Fuck it. We're just going to go right at it. B Diddy's here in the house. B Did, what up?
What's up, man? That was a devastating loss. It was hard to get over. Finally watched the game yesterday. Was able to rewatch it, but I think we're in a good place going forward. So let's get it.
That we are. All right, Gaines reports here. Tyler Ellis is in the house. He's ready to kick it. Big Gaines, what up, though?
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and good afternoon, Barflies and Bar Room. Hope everyone's doing amazing on this awesome snow day.
Yeah, damn straight. I know everybody got a little smile brought to their face when Alshon dropped that ball earlier, and the Eagles walked their happy asses home. But whatever. Ryan Badge was in the house. Badge is here to bring his thoughts to this show. Badge, what up?
What up? Gotta agree with Diddy. Tough loss. I was actually able to watch it 3 times. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Looking forward to the off season and what the future has in store for this organization. And like the Pagano hire, I wasn't, too excited, but, going back, watching a little bit of tape on what he did in the past kind of has me excited. So I'm looking forward to it.
Damn straight. We got AA in the house. AA was on that Chuck wagon with me. He was riding shotgun. It's like this dude sitting in his car in the garage or some shit. AA, what up?
Yo. I'm not even going to try to lie that I'm over this shit and I haven't watched the game. And I don't know if I'm going to watch that fucking game again because I watched every damn play. I was glued to every damn play and I lived and died with every damn play. And I don't know if I want to see it again. But I'm happy to kick it around with y'all and talk through it because this is our goddamn therapy session.
like the fusion oils, boys. Finally,
yep. Put on the Enya, motherfuckers.
Finally, we got Air Jer's in the house. He's ready to bring it today. Air Jer, what's up, man?
Rough one, man. Rough one. I made it to the A-Rob touchdown. After that, I can't watch anymore. I can't even fucking fathom watching Cody Parkey hit another fucking upright. Fuck him.
Yeah, man. I'm not going to watch it. I haven't watched it again. I'm not going to watch it. I listened to 100 Proof and On Tap and BHL just like within the last 2 days. For those of you, listening, we're recording this on Sunday night, the 13th, and I just got around to listening and everything. I just didn't want to, bring all that. Like, I stayed off Twitter for a little bit, all the negative takes, all the bullshit. I mean, we already know what happened. We know the problem. We know the issues throughout the game, and I just didn't feel like hearing everybody's hot takes and bullshit and, the team isn't going to grow and this and that and all that shit. I mean, I got nothing to say about that game. I think it's been covered enough on all the rest of the Barroom Network. But if you guys got anything you want to chime in about the game, go ahead, feel free, man, fire away. I'll start it with, Air Jer. Air Jer, you got anything you want to touch on that game before we get this thing rolling?
My biggest thing with that game is it was just a missed opportunity. And you saw how the other teams fared against their opponents. And I think, once again, fuck the kicker. I'm sorry. Everybody's like, I'm so sick and tired of other fans who are like, well, why didn't the offense score more points? Motherfucker, the special teams is an extension of the offense. The kicker doesn't get in field goal range by himself. He has the opportunity. And he kicked it left, and it was going left, and I don't think it would ever came back. and it makes me sick. I was sitting at work watching it, and as soon as he took that deep breath before the second kick, I knew he missed it. I knew it was over.
Yeah, I don't think he exhaled that thing. Diddy, you got anything you want to touch on that game?
Going back and watching it, the only thing that that really stuck out to me was that defensive, that after that bad punt, the things that went down on our defense, just the Amos, it was like the Amos defenseless receiver hit that would have had us off the field. The guy dropped the ball, the 12 men on the field. Then there was a Prince pass interference, set them up in the red zone, and then there was 10 men on the field. It was just like, what? How could all that go wrong in one series? It was crazy, man. And that just kind of stuck out. I was able to watch the game a little more, just like looking at things less emotional. It was Saturday after the game, but when it came down to that kick, man, it just kind of brought everything back up. Like, I probably shouldn't have done that. Probably should have taken your approach, Bobby. But it was just like, man, just watching it over again, it didn't change. Everything else, I was able to see, okay, we have potential going forward, looking at stuff. But with that, it was just like, man, and to top it off, like, I had a little bit of respect for him doing the locker room interview as far as manning up. It didn't change how I feel about him. But when he went on that Today Show, man, and said the things he said about how football is what you do, it's not who you are. Like, does he realize what team he's on? That be obsessed mentality that these guys are all about it. You know what I mean? And to say something like that on national TV, it's like, just be you somewhere else, Cody. I'm done. And to top it off, you fucking kill Staley. Fuck you, bro. Like, I'm done, bro.
Staley and did a goddamn thing to you, you fucking little face fuck.
Exactly. And that's about all I got to say, man. But
yeah, I mean, either way, I think the only thing that, obviously he fucking missed, right? And we could all say what we want. I think it was a bad approach by Bears fans with the death threats and the family threats and that. I think that
horrible.
was pretty.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
that was pretty classless. Yeah, we could say whatever we want to say, but wishing shit like that on somebody is just, it's the stuff that I was basically staying off of there because of, and just the dumb shit that flows out of people's mouths sometimes. Any of you guys want to touch on this game, or could we just gonna move on here?
Yeah,
I got a couple things. I got a couple of things.
Here we go. Lock in.
I'm not letting it.
Get a double A.
Shit was, listen, man. The shit was more fucked up than just Parky. The shit started on fucking Saturday night. Saturday night, we fucking hear that Trey Burton has been added to the injury report with some mysterious groin shit. So that was the first fucking thing that it was just like, wait, what? Like, when have you ever heard of anybody being added to the injury report in the middle of the night? Like, it's almost like some Eugene Robinson in the Super Bowl type shit. You know what I mean? Like what's going on? Like, what the fuck is going on with this guy that all of a sudden he's getting added to the injury report? So that was the first sort of like kind of feeling where I was like, nah, we good. Eddie Jackson's gonna play. And then you see Eddie Jackson's warming up. Eddie Jackson's suited up. Eddie Jackson not on the field. Oh, he's gonna come on the field soon, right? Right? Is he? Nope. Not gonna come on the fucking field, is he? Nope, no, he's not coming on the field. He's just gonna stand there. So that's cool. But it's all good because we're good, right? The defense is playing right. We got 2 interceptions. We only got 3 points out of 2 interceptions. So that was kind of ridiculous. Obviously, we didn't change the game plan at all because Burton wasn't in. So we're still trying to run the same plays to Shaheen, and Shaheen shit the bed. He is shitheen after that game because he shit the fucking bed. Big ass giraffe motherfucker. God damn it. Like, I've been hearing about this dude every fucking day. There's like a Shaheen fan club that blows up my timeline.
I'm part of that.
Tells me, yeah. And you know what? I want him to fucking do well too, but it's like every time this guy, puts on a jersey, it's like, it's live on Instagram and we're all ready to fucking, put him live at, on the parade, the Super Bowl parade bus like Gronk, and you know what? He fucking shit the bed.
Soft.
He did not fucking show up, and it, it was broken down or whatever, but like Jesus Christ, like how the hell did he show up that week in this game? I mean, that secondary was gettable. We talked about how gettable that secondary was. And it's like they didn't realize that they should try to get them until they were down. And I just don't fucking get it. Like, I don't really care about Jordan Howard not getting the ball that much because the offensive line was getting their asses beat like a drum. And then the one time Jordan Howard had a hole, what happened? He tripped on fucking Shaheen's leg.
Yeah.
Because that's what Jordan Howard does a lot. And it's like, oh, we can't talk about Jordan Howard, but motherfucker falls down a lot. Him and Shaheen are on the all fall down club. Like, every time they fucking make a good play, they also make a play where they fucking fall down.
We got a Kanye West drop, and it all falls down.
Yo, like, I'm sorry. Like,
I'm gonna let you finish.
I left that game feeling real less than pleased about Shaheen and Jordan Howard and Charles Leno. And I mean, yeah, Mitch made the heroic comeback, and it was like, oh my God, we're gonna see this happen. We're really gonna see this happen. And we go up by fucking 5 points, and then our boy, Mr. fucking Johnny Pomade, Pat O'Donnell, mega punt, Mr. fucking takes 6 years to get his leg up, fucking shanks a 35-yard punt, and then the defense lets him go right down the field, and who fucking scores? Oh, no, it can't be, right? It can't be not fucking, they traded Golden Tate, right? No, not him, right? No, not him. Yup, fucking the Bear Killer, Golden motherfucking Tate scores a touchdown and puts it right in our fucking face. It's so Bears. Like, the whole thing is just so Bears.
Yeah.
Like, and I tried so hard not to get into that shit, and I hate that shit. I hate that feeling of dread. I hate that. I mean, I tried on fucking Twitter, positivity for Parkey. I was like, we're gonna do this, and he made 3 fucking kicks, and I was like, holy shit, it's fucking working. He's a real live kicker, folks. Like,
I want to be a real boy.
We were doing it. And then, just like Shane Marsaw fucking predicted, and everybody predicted, and they talked about all week long, it's like we just fucking manifested the shit with our minds. Here we go. And this skinny fuck is coming out on the field with the whole world in his goddamn hands. And old Dougie Peterson, that fuck, has a timeout in his little greasy pocket, and he just ices the fuck out of somebody. Nobody has ever been iced as hard as that motherfucker was iced right there. That is the ultimate all-time GOAT icing ever. Nobody will ever be iced that hard again. That motherfucker should have just frozen and shattered into a million pieces at that moment because he was iced so fucking hard. And then he kicks it, and he made it, and I said, oh, we're fucked. Because he fucking kicked it and he made it, and he lost all his fucking wad right there, and fucking Staley caught it because the shit was barely through the uprights. And then it was, I mean, honestly, as soon as he made it, I was like, we're fucked. And I just watched it. It wasn't enough that we missed it. Oh no, wasn't enough that we just missed it. Couldn't just sail into the night. Oh no, had to hit the upright.
Yeah, what if we would have hit the upright on that timeout and then he split it on the next one?
I mean, what if fucking Eddie Jackson comes off the bench and plays some football? What about that?
Yeah, like, I get it. All right.
What if he Willis Reed? And I'm sorry, but I just like it was just fucking pure like pain. And I will echo what Shane said about being lucky that my kid was there, because I had to turn it into a teachable moment. I could not scream. I could not yell curse words. I could not throw things. I had to fucking suck it up and explain to him why the Bears season was over and why Daddy looked like he wanted to cry. And, and then of course he fucking goes on the Today Show, because of course he fucking would. You know, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he make it all about himself? You know, I mean, like, you know,
Him and his hot wife.
yeah, fucking.
Go ahead, Badge. What do you got on the game?
You know, at this point, I mean, I've watched it, like I said, 3 different times. Today I watched the coach's film. Offensive line was bad, man. They really were. Daniels got beat a couple times. Kyle Long got smoked. Leno, I mean, he stood out. You know, even Whitehair a little bit missed, I think at least once, if I remember correctly. So, you know, just they weren't good. I mean, it was a polar opposite of Minnesota. You know, I mean, everything was clicking in Minnesota, and I thought, shit, man, we just played probably our best game of the year in Minnesota, all around wise. And, you know, one of the things that sticks out to me, man, is special teams. How shitty Chris Tabor has done of a job with this special teams. I mean, you look at O'Donnell, you look at Parkey, you look sometimes at coverage, man. Yeah, garbage. Yeah, absolutely. Like, the question to me is, you know what? If Parkey's still here, am I going to like it? No, but why is Chris Tabor? Because to me, that's the problem. You know, yes, Parkey, I don't think he should be here either, but Tabor, I think, is the biggest issue. The 2 touchdowns in the New England game. Just piss poor coverage, guys not being where they're supposed to be. And, yeah, I know there was a hold on the fucking run back, but just – back to this game, man.
Why is Bellamy returning kicks?
Well,
Thank you.
And that was my next point. Is all right. So you're not playing Eddie Jackson, so you've got Josh Bellamy returning kicks when you fucking bring Cohen in for the last point in the game. Who Cohen really was a non-factor. You should have just had him returning kicks the whole fucking game.
Should be the return.
Yeah, he was a non-factor. He was a non-factor.
Yeah, man, like
the last 3 weeks of this season.
Right. So, you know, other than that, I mean, I thought Mitch did what he needed to do in that second half. You know, I didn't think Nagy was super good in the first half offensively, but in the second half, I thought he called a much better game. I thought Mitch played lights out in that fourth quarter. It's what he needed to do. He set us up. He got us in position to win. All these motherfuckers that are saying this kid, you know, sucks and he's not the future. And that, you know what? Eat a dick. Because when he brings us to a Super Bowl 2, 3, 4, man, I'm going to have that spoon ready so you can fucking shove it down your throat.
I mean, that's literally the only silver lining to this is that at least Mitch played the way he played and brought them back. Yeah. So nobody can say shit about that. If somebody had to take this painful loss, it might as well be that piece of shit Parkey. Because I'm glad it wasn't anybody else. That's all. Yeah. That's the only silver lining.
But that's it. I'm done. I'm good.
Can I say something about the cumulative
last
effect?
one, Gaines. Let's get this over to Gaines and go ahead.
For me?
Yeah, you.
I mean, real quick. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I was really content with it, guys. Content with it in terms of our leader. Our leader gave everything he had. Mitch showed up when we needed him to. The reason why I put it on Parker because Mitch did everything he had to do to put us in position to win. Let's just take a step back and not be Bears fans for a second. Let's just think about football. When the game was on the line, the quarterback made the throws. I was really content until this morning when I freaking opened up Twitter for the fucking first time in a couple of days that one of our loyal Barflies, Berlissimo, posted the fact that the damn PI play should have been called dead from the jump because there was a delay of game. And so that kind of upset me a bit. I'm like, damn, refs, for real? So that call or Amos should have never been called. It should have been a delay of game. But whatever. It is what it is. Double A uses, you hit it right on the nail. Rest guys hit on the nail. The fact that it came down to our weakest link. We knew what our weakest link was, and we knew it was Cody Parkey. But Coach Nagy, Ryan Pace both knew the same damn thing, and they are paying this man. So they knew when they didn't fire him in the regular season that this was a probability. Then why are we mad? Why are we mad if the people that signed his check, Hallis and them, not Hallis and them, but the Bears and them, they agreed to keep him on a roster, knowing this was an option. So if they ain't mad, then we got to keep it moving on. Let's go. I mean, that's really it.
Because it's a business, just like Thomas Jones reminded us. And I know you guys all listen to it, but anybody listening to this that hasn't listened to that Thomas Jones interview, that was fucking epic. He broke it fucking down, and he knows better than anybody about business decisions. And it's like I always think of the Ford Pinto. Ford fucking knew that the Pinto would explode when you crash into the back of it, and they literally made a business decision where we're like, well, it's going to cost this much to recall it, and it's going to cost this much if a bunch of people die. Let's let them die.
I mean, if
it's just football.
If they bought a Pinto, they were questionable anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, you probably deserve to have your shit catch on fire if you want a Pinto. But my point is that
they mortality served up.
Yeah, how you want it. They made a decision basically where they were like, is it worth it to cut the kicker or get the kicker out of here, or are we really, really that worried about it coming back to bite you in the ass? But that's the fucking playoffs. The playoffs will expose you.
Well, honestly,
do.
There was a time, so after the game, I was sitting there and I was like, man, I really wish we would have lost some games this season on his leg, more than Miami or even lost that game in Detroit with him, and just lost more games on his leg, and had this decision brought to the forefront a long time ago. Besides, it turned into a running joke, and it really didn't matter because we were still winning games. It wasn't something that overturned the tides or nothing because we were winning. But I think if we had more games that we lost on his leg, it would have been a different, choice in the middle of the season.
Now, do you think that we would have got him out of there early? We would have got him out of there earlier.
Yeah.
And then, but I know, Bobby, I know you want to move on real quick, but the fact of the matter is, hopefully you guys seen the Italian job, but the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. They spent all the other offseason studying this guy. Obviously, there was nobody out there better or that we did work on to know. And so it is what it is. It is.
I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that.
Who's out there? Who's out there that you would have believed in more? It would have been blind faith. It would have been blind faith.
But again, he overpaid. I don't think he needed to overpay. He overpaid.
He was the most accurate kicker at the time available. He was 89%. At the time of being available,
yeah, but why are we his fifth team? Why are we his fifth fucking team then? If he's so great,
bro. I mean, for me, it was one season in Miami. It was 89%, and he was a Pro Bowl kicker. I mean, shit.
His rookie year,
out of all the free agents, we've messed up on one. The one cost us. But guess what? But guess who didn't cost us? Guess who made the big throws and the big catches? Allen Robinson. And so, hey, we win some, we lose some. I guess what? What if Allen Robinson would have dropped those passes? We'd have had a bigger issue, right?
I just think knowing how bad Parkey's been on and off all season. I wish we would have seen a little more aggressiveness right off the rip out of our offense. Not to put ourselves in that position.
No. Don't say you want more aggressiveness because we all were upset, or some people were upset when we went for 2. So we got to take the bad with the good.
That wasn't me though. I wanted to see more aggressiveness. I've never said
they've been in the shell since the Rams game. I mean, everything changed with the Rams game. It was like, oh shit, this defense, we can't fuck up this defense. Their whole shit changed, and for the most part, it worked. But I mean, let's be honest, that San Francisco game was fucking brutal. I mean, that was not a good game. We really probably shouldn't even have won that game, but we did. You know what I mean? And then we came out and we stomped out the Minnesota Vikings, and that was cool.
Yeah, but it was a different plan of attack against Minnesota. We knew that they were beast up front. We put Soul in the backfield as a fullback.
Right.
We adjusted sides. We had double teams going. We had flows going. You know what I mean?
I think honestly, if you look at the game plan, I don't think that it was a non-aggressive game plan. I think Mitch checked down a lot. They also rushed the shit out of him. They spied him. They spied him so he couldn't run. And
our game
so
plan.
He was check down Charlie.
our game plan was for Philadelphia Eagles zone defense, and they ran zone almost all year. They didn't run zone against us. They came out in man. Came out in man, and they spotted Mitch, and it was a game plan for something that wasn't happening. You know what I'm saying? And those 15 scripted plays didn't work out because dudes they're in man coverage. They're not in the zone like you thought they would be, and it threw everything off.
And those dudes got fired up. Fucking Vontae Maddox and all those dudes, they didn't like hearing all this shit get talked about them all week. And the coach said, "All right, it's on you. Fucking play man."
But Mitch has control to audible out of that, right? Like
I don't know that it's an. I mean, yes, he does, but I think that's what I'm saying is it's not Nagy. I think it's Mitch. I think in the first half, I think it was a combination of Mitch getting pressure and not being able to do what he normally does, which is escape. And then also he was making the wrong checks. I think he made, or he wasn't seeing guys, and so he wasn't being aggressive. I don't think that it's all on Nagy. I'm kind of salty at people who are actually blaming Nagy for this. And then
what the hell are they talking about? That doesn't make any fucking sense. How many games we have seen this weekend, man? It doesn't matter about the fucking first half. Mitch started off fucking rusty, but in the second half, you put us in position. Nagy, we all work together in all three different phases. The point matter is it came down to the damn kicker. You have one damn job.
Right.
Guess what? Yes. You did it 2 times earlier in the game. Do the same damn thing again.
Right. Well, and that's my point is that at the point that Parkey kicked the ball, everything else is in the fucking past. So at that moment, the game is on his foot. You can't go back and undo Willis's penalty. You can't go back and fucking knock the ball out of Golden Tate's hand and have Sherrick McManus play outside leverage. You can't do any of that shit. You know what you can do? You can make the fucking kick. Period.
Your damn job.
My last point on Cody Parkey. I sent a text on December 23rd after he missed an extra point in San Francisco to a buddy of mine and said, he'll cost us a playoff game. After his comments to me were, cut his ass already, he fucking sucks.
Yeah. I watched him plank 4 of them, dude.
Yeah.
4 of them. After the third time, it was comical. The fourth time, it should have been automatic cut. Everybody walking out of the stadium knew that he should never have been on the field in the first place.
And what made it worse for me, Robbie's sitting in the stands watching the shit.
Oh, it's so Bears. It's so fucking Bears, though. Like,
it is.
Every dramatic, weird-ass fucking narrative that you can come up with, only the Bears will have this shit happen to them. Like, like Robbie in his teaching moment. Fuck. It's like, all
right, let's move this thing on here. Let's move this thing on. I got more on this game. If you guys do, feel free to fire away, as the show rolls on. But let's go into a little something. Let's go into player growth. Let's treat this as kind of like a bear up, bear down on the season overall. But let's kick it around the room and let's go with like season standouts. Any guys that you maybe thought that wouldn't fit the offense, but did great, or guys that you didn't expect so much from and they came out and balled out. We'll go around with a little up first, and go ahead, Gaines, take it away, man. I see you over there already, like hyping up and pounding your chest and shit. Hey, if you're listening though, turn the volume down in the car because Gaines is about to be real. Go ahead, Gaines.
I mean, honestly, Bear, James Daniels, man. I'm actually super, super impressed. When you talk about, we all looked at his job profile and when he came from, and it's a real testament. The reason why I was happy when we we didn't get Quentin Daniels, but we got Roquan Smith. We got the best linebacker in football as a rookie, and we were able to get a first round, second round offensive lineman talent late in the draft. And I just love how, we saw what Aaron Donald did all season long. And for James Daniels to help out with a little double team, but really to take on that Rams game. I think that Rams tape is going to be on his Daniels highlight film a lot. So protecting our biggest asset, which is our quarterback, and for him to come in when we with Kyle Long and Cush and people being moved around in terms of growth and development, as we were getting better as a team, as we got more national spotlight, and for a rookie to step up and play good on national televised games, prime time, and big moments, especially with one-on-ones, I was really impressed as a football fan first, then as a Bears fan with my man James Daniels.
Very well. Good pick there. Good pick. Let's I see the Badger is ready. Badger, let's come to you, man. Who you got on your bear up of the season?
I mean, I feel like this is the obvious, but I'm going with Mitch Trubisky, man. I mean, dude, this kid. I think it's smart that he stayed off of social media and not reading the papers and shit, because this fucking kid, what he's gone through this year, when you look at what he's done and what he put together to put this team. I mean, look what happened when he missed 2 games. Yeah, we got a win in one of them, but it wasn't an easy win. And then most of us were there in New York to witness whatever the fuck Chase Daniel was doing. And I'm sick of motherfuckers calling him Chase Daniels. It's Chase Daniel. Leave that fucking S off, goddamn. I'm tired of that shit.
Preach, man. Preach.
Get it, man. Get it, man.
Earn the ass.
Mitch,
Gotta earn the ass.
I'm telling you, I've got this guy I went to high school with, man, that he cannot stand that Mitch Trubisky is our quarterback, man. And I really believe, I watch Phil's tape. I watch the tape myself. Yes, there's things in his mechanics that he struggled with for the year, but he finally figured those things out. And he knows, I'm telling you, this next season, I mean, fuck Patrick Mahomes. Next year's Mitchell Trubisky's. Boom.
Hell yeah, Badge. And real quick, but Badge, your man who doesn't like Mitch, who the hell does he want? Who did he want? Like, I'm curious.
Dude. Who knows, man? Yeah.
Hey, one thing on that whole Mitch off of social media this season, I think one thing that like really hasn't been mentioned that I honestly feel would have became a case. So in the games where he had bad games, if he took to social media that week, people would, the reply would be like, don't you got a playbook to study? Like, he's playing bad because this and that. And you've seen it happen. You've seen it develop with Kyle Long. You've seen it develop over the years past with players. And, like, they have a bad game. And then people are like, well, if they weren't on social media all the time and they were studying or working on their craft and studying. I mean, these dudes need time off too, right?
Absolutely, man.
I mean, Granted, they do, but I mean, I feel that would have been one of the go-tos, and people would have been messing with him about it, and trying to bust the kids' balls. And then, of course, the negative shit. Nobody wants to see that. No matter who you are, if you're putting your best foot forward and doing things that you need to do, you don't want somebody shit talking and questioning what you've done or what you're doing. So, I think it was a smart play for him to stay off of it. All in all, let's not be stupid though. He read and heard some of it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Without a doubt, I would guarantee he was taking a shit at one point in the season, and he fucking opened that shit up and took a quick look.
Well, if you're Mitch's boy, like not like one of the players, if you're Mitch's boy from home and you talk to him on the phone and you see all the shit that's being said about this dude, how could you hold your tongue? I mean, you couldn't. Like, you'd have to tell him some shit. You know what I mean? Like, this dude was being drugged through the streets.
Yo, who are these people? Can y'all start tagging me? Who are the people that are against Mitch? Who are these idiots?
I don't know. They hate themselves, bro.
I don't care.
I don't
You know what? And I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if they're Barflies. I don't give a damn if they flip with a barroom. If you are against Mitch, hell, let's have a real man-to-man conversation. And I want you to fucking tell me that's the man who has more leadership, who has more off-the-field intelligence. Because everybody wants Patrick Mahomes. Everybody wants a fucking diamond day one. But when you have a man like Mitch, that's ongoing success. That's the man who's going to figure it out, who's going to get the proper structure as a proper teammate and lead your team years past. We don't want – what if Mitch led us to the Super Bowl this year and sucked the next 7 years? Wouldn't you rather have a quarterback who learned the proper way?
Yep. I mean,
I'm out of turn. My fault.
Hey, diamonds don't come out shiny. You know what I'm saying? They're found.
You gotta be willing to withstand the pressure. Yeah. You gotta be willing to go through the hard times to appreciate the good. Go withstand some pressure. You're gonna be a damn Cuban Zirconian shit if you want to have some quick, fast growth.
Hey, diamonds need somebody to cut them and shine them, man.
That's
before
true.
They start looking the way they do. You know what I'm saying? Jared, let's go to you, man. Who's your bear up of the year?
Well, I think prior to the injury, it would have been Sherrick McManus going away. That dude has played really well all year. And
Yeah, nice.
to think about where he started at as an unknown and to end up basically possibly playing himself into a nice contract here in Chicago. I think he'd be my close second, but I think Tariq Cohen's going to have to get it this year. I think he played way better and was way more involved than even I could have imagined. I think Tariq was and minus his running out of bounds, which kind of drove us nuts. If he gets, I thought he had the best, probably one of the better years that I've seen. And although we kind of expected it, I don't think we expected how involved in the offense he would be. So I'm going to give it to Tariq Cohen.
Nice. I think, obviously Sherrick is a fucking great pick, but I think on the Tariq front, I'm gonna chalk it up to Nagy, man. I honestly think Nagy outcoached himself on the usage of Tariq the last month. It seems like he dialed back a lot. I mean, it's kind of like, oh, it's just not working for him, and just stopped. You know what I mean? There's like, when it's not working, you keep at it. You know what I mean? You don't just go away from it all and not try it again. And I think he kind of limited his touches and all that because he just felt he was going to go somewhere else and kind of minimize him in the offense when he is, without a doubt, the best weapon that we have in that offensive backfield.
Quick question. I thought we were doing offensive first. I didn't know we were doing both. My bad.
No, we're just going a single bear up wherever you want, man.
All right.
Damn, get on. See, maybe if you had a flow,
how you want
it? How you
want it bear up? How you want it put up? I want that bear up put up. How you fucking want it? I got Joel Iyebunyiwe, motherfuckers. That's who I got.
All right, let's over to B Dids. B Dids, I know you're all quiet over there, man. Let's come to Diddy and see who your bear up on the year is.
Diddy's like they're talking about me. They're talking about me. I'm the Mitch hater. Fuck.
No, not Diddy.
No, man. I as far as the Mitch hater comment, I want him to succeed. Of course I do. And I just think that I think that my expectations, which doesn't make it right as in my fandom world, we kind of accelerated quicker than I thought this season, and I wanted him to accelerate quicker too, because you go, all he needs is the confidence and getting comfortable, and the kid's going to be fine. And I think you're going to see leaps and bounds next year with him. But because of how good our defense was playing, of course I wanted his development accelerated and have him at the top of his game, because there was a feeling this year like I personally haven't had in a long time about the confidence and how good this team is, and that defense was a championship caliber defense. So it was just, I wanted things rushed a little bit, but I'm optimistic going forward with Mitch, no question, man. I don't want to be dubbed I'm not a Mitch hater. I just think that you know what
I'm fucking with you.
Hey, yeah.
I mean, if there is a Mitch hater of this crew, you wear that hat occasionally.
Hey man, color screwed me all up, man.
You're the balance. You're the balance of the ball washing that goes on. You balance us out.
He's the support of Mitch Trubisky haters.
As far as my most improved, like, complete turnaround, man, I wanted Josh Bellamy cut preseason, but the guy really, really turned it around. I mean, so to work at his craft as hard as he did, with as many big drops and everybody talking shit on him, he not only was he good on the field, but the whole club dub DJ thing he was doing. I mean, the teammates seemed to love him, and you got to give him a lot of credit for making that kind of turnaround, because when called upon, he stepped up. So I give the most improved to Josh Bellamy.
Okay.
Good job. That's a good pick.
Yeah, Josh is a good pick. I like Bellamy this year too, man. I mean, granted, it's
none of that earned him the right to fucking return kickoffs in a playoff game, though.
I'm not saying that.
No. But I mean, it's what fans do, man. I mean, you're not going to like a player when he doesn't do his job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He started doing his job. He started doing his job well. And of course, people are coming around and not talking shit. And
he's always been that dude. Remember when he made shirts with his own fucking face on them last year? Like, he really hasn't switched up except for catching the fucking ball, Like,
yeah.
Bezo been about that bread, and Bezo been about that swag before
but
he
that's
even had a damn reason to be.
all of that, dude. I honestly think the main reason Bellamy came around is because he's got dudes at his position in the locker room that work their shit. You know what I mean? They get after their stuff and they work their shit, and it all ultimately made him better. And
Definitely.
he's got Miller there, and he really does. He has a lot of effect on that kid, man.
And not to.
He's showing him how to be a player. He's showing him how to be a player, and he's working with him and doing all the things that he needs to do as a veteran
for the first time, these guys who were on the team before, there aren't very many of them, they got to see a real life professional fucking receiver, and Allen Robinson is that. That is a goddamn professional. You know what I mean? Like, that's like a no bullshit, come to work, watch what I do, boys. Let me show you how to run this route. You know, dude. And I think never saw that before. You think Deontay Thompson was showing him that shit? Fuck.
So Bobby, I might be going out of turn. I might be going way out of turn. So is there a need for Antonio Brown on this team or no?
Fuck no.
No, I don't think so.
Fuck him and his bullshit.
I stay away from I stay away from Antonio Brown because I think the people that we have here now are team people.
Like you guys said, you guys were talking like Wims. You guys were talking about it last week. We got great youth, big guys and speed, and a guy like Wims.
Look, Ryan Clark got killed for it, but read Ryan Clark's comments about Antonio Brown, former Steelers safety, now analyst. He fucking killed Antonio Brown.
What happened?
He came out. He talked about as soon as Antonio Brown got paid, Antonio Brown was a different guy. And he was talking about how I'm the franchise and y'all need me and his whole shit. And everybody Uncle Tom'd him till the end of the earth. And he shut up because he got straight up called an Uncle Tom for calling out Antonio Brown and calling him on his bullshit. But he basically said that as soon as Antonio Brown got paid, that dude changed completely. And there were people that said that would fucking happen. You know, I mean, it's not like some Greg Gabriel shit, but it's it's like.
And didn't we hear the same thing? Didn't we hear the same thing about the dude Wallace in Seattle? I heard the same thing. I heard the same thing about no. The guy Percy Harvin heard the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Seattle.
Yep.
Well, Percy also has some migraines and weird shit.
But he got paid though. But he was balling out.
It's true. But that's the thing about the league is that you could be the best second round draft or first round draft pick in the world. Nobody knows what happens when you get all that money.
And that's why I respect dudes like JJ Watt and Khalil Mack.
Right.
Because the guys still bring it.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. All right. Hey, let's stay with you, man. Who's your bearer up on the season?
I am going to go with Ryan Pace.
Woo!
Because at the end of last season, let's not forget that this dude was on the ropes, okay? Before he signed that extension, he was on the ropes. He had 3 terrible years under John Fox. He had not put together much of anything. I mean, let's be honest. The Glennon shit was bad. Mitch was a question mark. I mean, there was a lot of question marks. There were more questions than answers about Ryan Pace. I mean, let's be honest. Anything you could say about John Fox, you could just shift it right on over to Ryan Pace too. So maybe he's a little bit Teflon, huh?
I want to change mine to John Gruden.
But let me just, I mean, and there were a lot of questions about the draft, and obviously we all, went crazy about the draft and this, that, and the other, and that dude bobbed and weaved and pulled rabbits out of hats in that draft. I mean, every motherfucker that he drafted contributed this season. That's crazy. Yes. I mean, this draft in general is pretty sick if you look at it, but I mean, when was the last time that we had a draft as a Bears team where everybody contributed, and not to like a 6-10 team, to a fucking 12-4 team? You know what I mean? From James Daniels to fucking Anthony Miller, who looks like a goddamn starter, to fucking Roquan Smith, who, I mean, obviously that's not some, that's nobody's like, oh, you sneaky bastard Ryan Pace with Roquan Smith, but I mean, that was sick. I mean, even E.A. Bunue and fucking, even Kylie Fitz and some of these other random dudes, Javon Wims. I mean, like, he was like, no, let me show you how I do this, and these are, and I think he was a little more experienced, a little more calm, and he wasn't trying to like reach too hard, and he just hit, he just hit and he hit and he got his guys. And I think that's what he needs fucking a ton of credit for, is getting his type of guys and his high character dudes. And these dudes, I mean, we love this fucking team. And that's the reason is because of these guys, like at the end of the day, we love them because of these guys. They're so likable. They're so damn, easy to root for. And then that's why I choose him.
And hey, how awesome is that Pace will do that when the pressure is on the most? You just said the other offseason, he was on the fucking fences. The pressure's on. He can't fuck this draft up. He cannot mess up this head coaching pick. So not only does he do it, he does it well because he put his job on the line. He knows how to coach Nagy. Now you're now tied to this coach, which means when his coach goes,
I forgot
go.
Coach Nagy. I forgot Coach fucking Nagy. He just went out and got that dude. The dude that every fucking team is trying to hire their own Coach Nagy, except for the Broncos. Every fucking team is like, we got to get a Nagy. This guy's Sean McVay's roommate in 2005. Hire him. I mean, that's what's crazy. Like the fucking Packers went out and tried to get their own. The Packers got Kirkland brand Nagy.
Kirkland.
And that's sick. I mean, how to go from being on the ropes and you don't know if you're gonna get extended or have a job or do anything to be basically like the franchise that everybody's copying.
That's more Five Below AA.
And one more double, one more for you. Not to mention everybody saying that John Lynch got over on him. How about them apples?
Exactly. It's fucking exactly. I mean, how's it looking, John Lynch, with your fucking roster and your payroll, and I mean, how's my dick taste, John Lynch?
Get it, double. Get it.
And for him to have the balls to make the move for Mac like he did, and this right, you did it with Mitch.
Yeah, Jared.
Dude, big ups. The only thing I wish he would have done was bring in competition for Parkey.
Yes.
That's one thing.
And not cut Crevion LeBlanc. But that's
he's got to take it for the bad.
I mean, yeah. And then Khalil fucking Mack. I mean, like, the trade of probably our lifetimes. Like, I mean, shit. This motherfucker, I mean, that dude made us serious. Like, you can't fuck with the Bears when we got Khalil Mack on our team. Like, seriously.
Hey, I know one thing. Them five guys can't block Khalil Mack.
They can't.
Block Khalil Mack.
Them fucking five guys cannot block Khalil Mack.
All right, so mine bear up of the year, I'm gonna hand to old Eddie Goldman. I think Eddie's the stable of that defense, man. I think we get this pressure and we get a lot of this because of what he does do. And I think he only had like 40 tackles on the year, but either way, as a nose, that's still pretty good. And he's taking up the space and he's freeing up those guys on the outside and he's doing his thing. I think he's 25, 26 years old. A good part of this defense and one that I feel if we didn't have him, we truly we just wouldn't have the same defense, man. It wouldn't be the same for us.
Season. His
What's
one
that?
tackle, his safety against the Rams changed our whole season.
Yeah.
He busts I
think a huge fucking play.
That literally changed every perception we had of our team.
Yeah. And I think he's an underrated strong point of this defense, and I'm glad he's going to be here for a while.
Every time I hear Eddie Goldman, I think of the old Bulls intro. When they would say the man in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I always think of fucking Eddie Goldman, the man in the middle. It's like nose tackles don't get stats, but that dude's down in there fucking, holding everything up.
Yeah, exactly. And doing
And that's a
it
good
day
pick,
out
Bob.
here,
And that's a great pick
after.
because you remember in the beginning, his ankles. He had a lot of ankle issues in the beginning,
Yep.
and so that's a real great pick, Bob.
And he got paid and he put up too. That's the other thing. He didn't go.
Solid dude there. All right, let's go to our the downs of the year.
Yo. Still there, Bobby? Yo, we lost you for a second. All right. Downs.
Yeah, no, I'm on a poor. let's get the downs. Go ahead, AA.
The downs. Who's going first?
You, AA, go.
Oh, fucking A. The downs. I mean, Cody Parkey, of course.
Kick the downs.
I don't know. Cody Parkey's the obvious one, so I guess nobody can pick Cody Parkey. I will have to say, I'm gonna say, and I get this might be a shock.
No, he's ready. Go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, hit it.
Okay, sorry. Bobby was breaking up. I couldn't tell if he heard me. I don't know. This may be totally out of fucking whack, and this may not be right, but I honestly don't think Harry Hiestand did that great of a fucking job with this offensive line. I don't think they ever figured out how to run a screen pass this year. I don't really think that they ever really figured out run blocking. And maybe that's a failure of Ryan Pace to not get the guys in here. But I feel like that Ryan Pace thought I don't need to spend that much assets on offensive line because I got the best coach in the land. And I don't know. I don't know if he really I don't know if the offensive line got that much better from last year. That's all.
Yeah, man, I could see that.
Like I was expecting the fucking O-line whisperer, to turn, to turn some guys into, like something, you know what I mean? And maybe they did. I mean, maybe I'm out of base, but I just feel like, it was there was too many times during the season where it was like, it's Cush, it's Witzman, it's Cush, it's Daniels, it's Cush, it's who, it's what, it's no, and I guess Kyle Long got hurt, but and how can you control that? But yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know why Coward never got into the mix. Like I just feel like we still don't know the fuck how to run a screen pass. Like I just look at the Patriots, and I know it's like they're the Patriots, but I look at the Patriots and the Eagles, and I don't understand how Ertz can just run out and curl. And then, bam, there's the ball. Like, we don't seem to be able to do that simple shit. And, like, James White runs these fucking screen passes, and it's just like, it's like butter. I mean, and I don't know why we can't do that. Like, we have the personnel, but so I got to put that somewhere on the coaches, maybe. And that's I don't know. So that's what I'm going with.
All right, man. That's yours. Go ahead, Jared. Who you got?
Oh, okay.
Man?
I was gonna go with Chris Tabor. He's obviously,
garbage.
From start to finish. Yes, he's trash, man. He brought his Clevelandness with him. Take your Clevelandness and go home because I don't want to see it no more.
Shit.
What was it? The new rule that you put up earlier in the year?
My new rule: no Cleveland. No, if you have Cleveland on your resume, we don't need you. I'm sure there's gonna be some examples that I don't that somebody's gonna be like, well, actually, but fuck it.
Right, but from players not knowing about batting the ball to having Josh Bellamy returning kicks to having Cody Parkey on the field and giving him a vote of confidence with the coaching staff because that question was asked and he said that's my guy. So when that's your guy, you go down in flames with that guy.
How bad was that fucking fake kick? That one fake kick that we ran?
Yeah, and the fakes. Yes,
that was a hot fucking mess
from the word jump. And you know what? If I'm gonna choose a bear down as far as that goes, it's him. It's Chris Tabor. I don't know why he's still on the fucking coaching staff. Get him the fuck off my field. I don't give a fuck. You're a piece of shit and you suck.
Fucking ain't right. Get Dave Tobe back.
I gotta tell you guys, I'm gonna go with the tight end group.
Yeah,
I was very underwhelmed by this tight end group. I thought the addition of Trey Burton and Adam Shaheen. I know Shaheen obviously missed the majority of the season, but what he was involved in, Brownecker kind of impressed me a little bit. I don't know where the fuck Daniel Brown was all year. I thought, towards the end of last season, he was the guy that was going to kind of, make some sort of statement this year, but they highly underwhelmed me. I mean, Trey Burton, had one, maybe two really good games. But I expected a little bit more. I expected him to be a guy that Mitch was comfortable with throwing the football to in, close situations, short plays, a little out and up, something quick.
Yeah, that safety valve.
Yeah, and he just wasn't that guy. And, Shaheen, I thought with the addition of Burton would be the guy that stretched the field. He's a bigger tight end. I don't want to piss you off, AA, and throw out the baby Gronk thing, but the big target that this team has been looking for. And, Bobby, I'll agree with you. I still think he can be that guy. I do definitely think he wasn't fully 100%, but I really expect to see some improvement from this group, going into next season.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I never bought into Shaheen. I was not a big Shaheen fan. Personally,
I didn't like that pick,
I would have went with the tight ends group, but I locked up.
Yeah, no, I mean they're both good choices. Either way you look at it, I mean the tight end group played like shit. I mean we had Sims and them at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
and that's just a mess. And
I didn't even mention Sims because he's going to be gone.
Yeah, we thought Burton was going to come in and be the safety check down. And he didn't turn out to be that really. It's a lot of misses at that position right now. Granted, I don't know if I would say Burton's a straight miss, but he's definitely not the hit that we were expecting.
I mean, he didn't play like a number one. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Right. He didn't play like the guy who got the big contract and stepped up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's. I just think there's something weird about though, like. I just feel like we never really figured out who our horses were and stuck with them, like except for Allen Robinson maybe. Like, and for a while I felt like Tariq was there, but then he kind of disappeared, and then it's like Gabriel's one game. It's like I tweeted today, why the fuck can't Gabriel run the shit that Edelman runs? Like Gabriel should be our Edelman. Like I know it's not the same offense, but. I just feel like, he's not maybe as strong as Edelman, but I don't know. Like, I'm not sure that necessarily Gabriel's only usage being like deep seam routes is the best plan.
Yeah, I feel like some of these guys are put into spots and they're expected to run all the routes when we need to key in on who the actual best threat is at those routes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Gaines, who you got, man? Who's your up on the season?
You mean down? The down on the season?
Oh yeah, my bad. Down on the season.
Down with the sickness.
It's I don't want to nitpick, man. I mean, you guys picked some really, really good ones because I mean, how can we be mad when we only had 4 wins last year? I think it's just like damn. But it's just like when you talk about the goal, you guys hit it on the head with Tabor, and that was a really good one, Double A, with the line coach and what we need to do. But it's hard for me, man, because I'm just really appreciative, man. I'm not gonna say we've been bad for so long, but to finally see us come together, to finally see a core unified, it's just like, man. But I mean, and then back, you guys hit with the tight end group. We expected a lot more, but we just never had so many weapons like this before. And so I'm just really, as a football player, man, as an old, like, you know what I'm saying, whatever, semi-pro, whatever, it's just really awesome to finally see my team get into the next generation of type of football. And so it's really hard to say, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't have one. I don't have one because I'm really appreciative for. I know what we didn't have before. I know what we didn't have before, and regardless that we may not be top 5 in the positions now, but I know where we're going, and I don't have one, so I got to pass because I just really appreciate the new threshold. I mean, because everything you guys said, I could take something from and agree with, and so I want us to take that next step, like you said, Double A with the offensive line. We saw what Kansas City did. We should be able to do every single damn thing they did. And the thing about it is, I see that coming. I just feel like it's the first year of the staff. It's the first year with the team, and it's like, man, the coaches just met these players. It hasn't even been a full year yet. This time last year, none of these people were on the staff or on the field. So it's just like, give them a little bit. Give him a. Harry was still coaching. Harry was still coaching 17-year-olds. I think. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he's been a pro coach before.
I know, but it's
not
like
he
welcome back.
Just got his driver's license.
I know, but still, it's like welcome back. But it's like welcome. It's like
there's
a welcome
coach
back.
in Arizona that just got his driver's license.
Yeah, fuck Kingsbury. That.
But no, I just appreciate. Bobby, I appreciate the road travel, man. And we've been at the bottom for so long, and to win the division title, I mean, to do it in one offseason. Ryan Pace can't be the GM of the year or the executive of the year without a quality coaching staff. And yes, we have a lot of room for growth. Everything you guys said is absolutely right, and I agree with 100%. I mean, I got your back on that. But to make that transition in 1 year, to have double-digit wins, and to win your division, and to have the road wins and home wins, divisional, damn everything else, to have your team prepared to win those games when it mattered. Hey, man, I appreciate that.
Yeah, did he get one?
Nah, man, my Skype froze up.
I
heard.
Diddy next. I'll pass it to
sorry,
Diddy.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, guys.
My bad.
No, my Skype froze up on me for some reason, so I had to bounce out and come back in. Froze up like Parky and shit. But I wanted to say Shaheen, but it was kind of mentioned. This isn't going to be fashionable, but I think I don't know if anybody mentioned. I'm sure not, but I think Howard took a small step back. I don't know if he really fits this offense. I'd like to see them bring in a Kareem Hunt type guy, maybe through the draft, that without the off-field stuff.
Why not Kareem Hunt? Why not Kareem Hunt?
Bring him in.
I'm not touching that subject, man.
I'm touching it. I saw the tape. The shit wasn't anything.
Chill.
Bring him in,
bro.
Give it to you how you want it.
Yeah. We said we need an upgraded kicker. Let's go.
Wow, bro.
Wow, dude.
That just happened.
That's a walk-off.
So I plead the fifth.
So that wraps up this week's show.
I said Kareem Hunt type. Let me re-explain. Let me explain myself here. A Kareem Hunt type skill set. A guy that that just works in perfectly with this offense. I'm not talking. I'm not gonna.
That skill set. Would you settle for that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm all right with you.
Kick, a guy that can.
What's that?
Howard was who he is. He's fine. He almost had the exact same season he's had, like, every damn year. Like,
I like Jordan, man. Like, I'm just saying.
I do too, but he's not a game breaker. He's not. I'm sorry, he's not elite. He's not. He's just a guy. Like, and he's a great find out of the 5th round, and he's a great he's a good running back. But he is not like a game breaker. He's not anybody that you go, oh shit, we have to game plan for this guy.
Right.
Like you just don't. Like, and that's, and now that we have a team full of weapons, his production was bound to go down. All these people are talking about Jordan Howard's going to get 1,500 yards, Jordan Howard's going to get 15 touchdowns.
Guilty.
I was like, no, there's not going to be enough balls for him.
I was guilty of that.
Like,
Well, no,
there's no
even
fucking
if you
way
could,
that
like,
was going to happen.
mix Cohen and Howard together, and we're good. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I agree, but you got. I mean, at the end of the day, Tariq led the team in receptions, which I don't know if that's good or not. I mean, I think
that's like Forte back in Forte's day.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I mean, and listen, we improved by 9 points a game, and Nagy did wonders with Mitch. And I'm not gonna nitpick. But if like, let's just pretend that Mitch is a good player. Okay, he's not. He didn't. The history's all out. Okay, so Mitch is a top 15 quarterback in the league, and then you add the weapons. Are you happy with the production? I mean, take away the history and the scar tissue and the like all that other stuff. Are you happy?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am, because we countless times the Patriots game, it was chances when the game was on the line or never. And my man, whenever I see a quarterback run a gap and he's not scared, when his whole shit is over. Excuse my language. When everything is all over. When I see a quarterback that bigs up his teammates first.
I'm not talking about Mitch. I'm happy with Mitch. I'm talking about the other guys. I'm talking about do you really do all the other weapons really live up to?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I mean, do you remember? I mean, for me, I remember 3 years ago. Oh my God, can we please catch the ball on third down? I mean, guys, do you remember how hard it was to get 2 completions in a row a couple years ago? Jesus Christ! And so for Allen Robinson, for Bellamy, for Anthony Miller, Gabriel, we cannot get spoiled. We cannot become
I know, but there were some pretty lofty predictions from these guys, and I think when they go back with Brett Mailey and they do is it Brett Mailey that they did the predictions with on 100 Proof?
I believe it was, yes.
Yeah. Then when they go back, I think you're going to hear some pretty lofty numbers that were being
you might hear some predictions, and I know I was one of the people saying that Burt was going to get 1,000 yards, but the fact of the matter is we won the damn division.
I agree with you, Gaines. I'm not saying that. I'm just right.
A lot of those predictions were like 700 yards or 500 yards.
That's true. I just think that there were a lot of big ones getting thrown out.
They weren't. Yeah, man. So my bear down of the year, I'm going to have to go with a guy who honestly has no excuses. I mean, all kinds of pieces were brought in for him. I mean, you could just call it a bear down career as a bear. Kevin White, man. Kevin White, this was the last year for him to prove something, to prove his worth, and to make a name in the NFL and be a desired asset to a team. And I mean, we seen in the offseason him working with Mitch out in Cali and this and that, and everybody kind of, look at he's healthy, and look at him, he looks like a beast now, and he's put on all this muscle, and he's healthy, and he's doing this, he's doing that, and he didn't do shit, and like it got to a point to where he makes 122-yard catch, and the whole stadium goes crazy because they're happy that dude got the ball. I would, when you bring in Robinson, Gabriel, Miller, you draft, and you got Burton, and you got all these guys to where, like, all pressure is taken off of him. And he's a first-round pick, but all pressure is taken off of this dude to just perform, and he can't do it. I'm going to have to go ahead and say that, damn, Kevin White is my bear down of his career.
Bobby, I feel you. I feel you quick. Hold on, I got you, Big A. But don't you feel like if he was like, it's because like Double A just said with Jordan Howard, it's only so many balls that can go around. But I don't you feel like if this guy goes to another team, I'm telling you right now, if this motherfucker goes to the Patriots, he's gonna be a beast. I'm telling you right now. No. I see it. It's gonna happen. No. Because it's repetition and reps. I don't know, man. I got a feeling, man.
Kevin White, garbage.
Yeah, garbage. I don't see it.
He's not garbage. He's not garbage. I don't see garbage. I don't think he's garbage. I don't think he's garbage. I think it's coming down to reps, and maybe his opportunity has passed him in Chicago.
Yeah,
maybe it has.
I'm not saying he can't get a fresh start somewhere, and I think he might be able to do good somewhere, but you can't say on a first round pick that we've had for 4 years.
Oh no, that shit sucks. No, that shit sucks.
You think He could not get a fucking bite to eat at a goddamn buffet.
But
Like,
that's what
this motherfucker couldn't get on the field. And guess who is on the field catching touchdowns? Offensive linemen are catching touchdowns, and Kevin White can't get on the fucking field. Every motherfucker who wants to can get on the field and get a whole play designed for them, but Kevin White can't get on the field.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard Nagy say if you're an athlete, he's going to get you the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like, yo, like they don't even let his ass dress. Michael Burton.
And he better fucking be that good when the damn Packers pick his ass up. So remember that shit.
Taquan Mizell's on third down clutch plays, and Kevin White is I don't know what he's doing. He's drinking fucking Gatorade and wearing sweats.
Think it's opportunity and coaches. I just think it's more coaches' decision and what the coaches see in practice. And then we just have some, I guess, better guys or whatever guys on the field. I don't think it's more on him. He's been a good teammate. He's been professional the entire time, guys. He's never once blamed. He was never negative. I mean, you can't fault the guy for getting hurt. I mean, he's a good kid and a good man.
He's not hurt anymore.
I just don't think he can run the route tree, man. I just think he doesn't know the playbook.
Exactly. Nagy has shown that if you have any kind of anything to offer, he is going to find a spot for you. And to me, that screams that this dude cannot get with the program and cannot get on the fucking field. Like, you don't have to be.
I think he's worth holding on to. I think he's worth holding on to. And then
no way. I'd rather keep Parkey. I would rather keep Parkey.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I fucking would. Parkey did some shit. Parkey made some kicks. Parkey got
So you mean to tell me you wouldn't keep Kevin White for $3 million?
No. I wouldn't keep Kevin White for a bag of chips, bro. Fuck that guy. Man. He's garbage. And I guarantee you he does not do shit anywhere else. If he even gets a job. I'd rather have fucking Dontrell Inman back. That dude's playing for the he's playing good for the Colts. He's playing good for the Colts. Kevin White is
playing well.
Kevin White ain't shit. And he
I don't know, man. Maybe I still see him as the rookie, man. Maybe I still see him as the rookie who hasn't got the shot.
Everybody sees him with his shirt off and gets all excited.
No, I saw. I mean, a couple weeks ago, I saw him in the slot, man. I think from the slot when you have that 6'5" frame and that speed at the slot position, he can out physical those 33 second string DBs.
But
if you told him to run a hook, though, he'd fucking run it in route.
Seventh round pick.
It's a fucking buffet, and the dude can't get a plate. That's what I'm saying. Like it isn't like it's like you got to jump through all these hoops. Everybody gets a pass. Nagy's like Oprah. You get a pass. You get a pass. You get a trick play. You get a trick play. And Kevin White's like, I don't even get a uniform.
I mean, Akeem Hicks has more offensive touchdowns than he does.
Yes.
No. Come on. We're not gonna bash on our guy. We're not gonna bash him.
I'm bashing him, bro. He's bad.
I just.
What is he, bro?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think that somebody else had to be the lame duck. It had to be him. We had a lot of other shiny weapons, and Nagy wanted to see those guys do their thing, and they did it. And what was he Antonio Brown in the locker room? He was like, "What about me?" What did he say? Hey,
so should he get credit for that?
No, he should not. But character goes a long way. Double A. What I'm saying is character goes a long way, and you never know when you need some depth, man. And the dude still is 6'5" and runs a sub 4.5. I'm just saying the measurables are there. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think he still runs shit.
Dude, even in that San Francisco
game, if he ran that,
he'd
have been in the end zone on the Hail Mary. He ain't running no sub 4.5. No way.
Even in that San Francisco game when we only dressed 4 receivers, they fucking left him inactive.
Right? What does that tell you?
And then 2 of them were fucking ejected.
Gone.
No. I remember that. they had a limited amount of clicks that day, and so she couldn't play.
Shit.
Hey,
Gaines, did you buy his jersey?
When the game was on the line.
No.
We're going to Javon Wims, the 7th round pick, over our 1st round pick.
Yep.
Kevin White, garbage.
All right, let's keep this thing moving. I know I'm bouncing in and out here, and
now you're all right now.
You sound great, Bobby.
All right, good. All right, so let's move on to this, and we're gonna start with Badgley. We're gonna talk about the fucking man genius, the damn master of all plays, and that old Vic Fangio having his little homecoming, and going back to Denver and taking that head coaching job. Badgley, starts to sing off with you, man. What do you think about Vic's departure and all that going on?
I think I was probably one of the few people possibly that didn't expect Vic to go. I honestly thought he would stay, but I completely 100% understand why he left. I mean, the man has been doing this for 32 years. He just put together the #1 defense in the NFL and has done it multiple times in this league. I think it was very deserving of Vic. I tweeted it out, all these people that, bashing Vic and saying this is a slap in the face to the Bears. The man did his thing. He's done his thing in this league for 32 years, college as well. And this was well-deserved, long overdue. And, very proud of Vic. I was, having him leave, I was nervous, man, because you take what he did with this defense, and it's like, wow, what are we going to do here? How are we going to replace what Vic did and how good he was with these guys? And, I'm just excited for him. I hope, things go well in Denver, but man, I don't love John Elway. Is the leader of that organization personally, but best of luck to Vic. I'll miss the guys that on our roster on the defensive side of the ball. Loved him, man. You saw it. Every interview they talked about him, and I think it's long overdue. And congratulations to Vic and best of luck. But we're coming to beat that ass next year.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm on the same. So I honestly, I think I told AA, I thought he was gone, man. I thought Vic was moving on this year. I didn't really expect him to stick around. I think he stayed one more year just to stay in Chicago. I don't think he really knew he was getting Mac, obviously, when the plan was made for him to stay. But I think he stayed one more year to help Nagy along and do his thing. And then it was known that he was going to take a head coaching job. Davey, what do you think, man? What's your thoughts on Vic being gone and old Chucky P, the old Chuck wagon coming in?
I think, the defense got better every year under Vic. I think he did a great job here. I think I've brought it up before in previous shows where I thought it was real impressive how dominant they were with all the rule changes too, because there were some players on the team I was concerned about with that. I think he really coached these guys up good. They love him. You know what I mean? I think that was a big blow to them. I think they all really respect him. They kept him with bringing a new coach in. That was that was part of the deal, I think I'll miss him. I wish him the best. I'm glad we got a guy in that runs the same defense and Chuck Pagano. That's also aggressive. I think that's going to be sometimes refreshing because I think sometimes Vic got into that soft zone and, we did have some issues during the year where we're like at one point we gave the most points in the fourth quarter as a defense too. So I'm hoping Chuck comes in, brings a little more aggression. We have the athletes for it. I'm happy with the hire though. I think it's a guy with head coaching experience that's a veteran and still in the same kind of mold where you're bringing in that guy that's going to basically run the defense and let Nagy do his thing on offense. So I think they replaced him with a really good guy as far as Vic.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Even some of the old players of Ravens and Colts were saying how Pagano was like a player's coach and one of those guys. He's strict, but he's also a man's man kind of deal, and down to do the dirty work and get things done when they need to. I'm excited for him to come in. I think it's going to be, somewhat refreshing, I guess. I'm happy for Vic, to go and do his thing. But, you can't you can't not be excited to come in and coach a defense like this. You know what I'm saying? And these weapons that are there and whatever. And he's talking about bringing Ed Reed in as a safety coach. Obviously, possibly moving on, getting a new linebacker coach in there. There's a lot of vacancies that we could fill and that are coming open. Now, who knows what happens to Donatel now that, that he's been passed over on that DC spot. I really didn't think that he was going to get it. I kind of think that the plan is to continue bringing, head coaching experienced guys in around Nagy, I think, for now. But that was just my go-to. And I know we made the Papa Pagano's little pizzeria thing prior to him, getting on board. But I wouldn't be surprised, man, if he becomes a Chicago favorite and, is kind of just like Vic. Vic's like an unsung dude, But I wouldn't be surprised if he really turns it up out here. Hey, what's your thoughts on the coaching change?
I'm not surprised. I'm honestly surprised he got an offer. I definitely think he's been deserving in the past. Everybody's trying to go offense, and I think there was a little bit of a swing back to that because of what the Cowboys and our defense did. I'm happy with Pagano. I like Pagano. I've liked Pagano ever since that he came back from leukemia, and obviously, Arians went 9-3 with that team, but he came back and he gave an amazing speech. And it was something that it was something that I really loved that speech. Like, I was at a time in my life where I really fucking resonated with what he said, and he talked about living in vision and not in circumstance. And if you listen to that speech is sick. He really just talks about how it's about living in the moment and living in where you want to go instead of being where you think you are. And it's kind of like the anti-victim cycle. You know what I mean? So I think he's really high character. I think he's exactly what we need. And not to diss on Fangio. Fangio was great. But, Fangio is kind of like a little bit of a foil to Nagy. And I think that was good. But let's not pretend like we didn't have some problems with Fangio this year. I mean, after the Miami game, he was getting lit up by some people. And, in the fourth quarters of a lot of games, his strategies were questionable. And I hope to fucking God that Pagano never drops Mac into coverage again. That's what I want to see. Like, what are you, Mac is a fucking race car and you want to, take him on a little, a Sunday drive. Like, let's fucking go. Let's see some, just like the Patriots did today to Phillip Rivers. Fucking zero blitz. Let's hit this guy. I mean, I'm sorry. I know it's like we can't talk shit about Vic, but you had a quarterback in Foles that had busted up ribs, and we're playing patty cake with these motherfuckers. Like, let's bring the house a few times on them.
Yeah, blood's in the water. Yeah,
like they went zero blitz when the game was on the line, and that's but like they should have fucking went right at him. I mean, I would have been up that I would have been blitzing that guy zero blitz right from the get go. And that's me. I don't know that he's going to do that well in Denver. I think if you look at the situation with I look at kind of how John Fox that situation went down a little bit. I mean, you got a defensive minded guy, you got kind of a stick in the mud kind of guy, and already everybody was predicting that Kubiak was going to be the offensive coordinator. Well, apparently that's not happening. I mean, they don't have a quarterback. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad he got the chance, and I wish him the best. And I think it's great when other teams come calling for our people, because that means we're doing good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a sign of success. And I really didn't have a doubt that we were going to find somebody good. If it was Bowles, if it was Pagano, if it was somebody else, but I knew that they had to find a guy that was like Vic, who kind of could command the room and had a resume. I don't want to see some young punk DB coach who's a hot shot, who's like 35. I think they made a good hire, and I honestly think that Pagano could improve that defense, which seems kind of crazy to say, but I think he can.
Yeah, I wonder where Pagano's road kind of takes him though, because I mean, years past, obviously as a head coach, and then as a DC, he was on the sidelines. We seen Vic move up to the box, the last couple of years and start calling everything from the box. So I'd be interested to see where he stays and what his interaction is with everybody. And
I hated that about Vic. I wanted him down on the sideline especially in the fourth quarter. Like I don't see how you could call the game from up there in the booth.
Yeah, and kind of be there to like fire your guys up because the defense looks more to Vic as their leader. Granted, they know Nagy's the ultimate leader, but you see how those guys surround him and all that in the
right.
Club Dub and like how they the pictures that came out with him and all that stuff. And I kind of think that yeah, you're right. Like maybe his spot was on the ground, but I don't know. I don't know what took him to the booth, if that was just a thing or maybe if it was a way for him to see the game better and better see what's going on in his later years. But obviously, as a head coach, he ain't going to be in the damn booth.
No, I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting. I mean, obviously, he's got a lot of talent on defense. I don't know. I don't look at the Denver. I mean, they got to deal with Kansas City, and I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting.
I'm interested to see how he deals with the press because he was not a big press guy. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, he never has been.
They loved him at the press conference. I watched the Broncos press conference, and all the fans were calling him Big Dick Vic and the Godfather, and we signed the Sopranos, and this guy's great, and so they like him so far, but we'll see what happens when they lose some games.
Too bad Jersey didn't get a look at him.
And I'm also hoping Pagano can hold a lot of our staff in place. Just keep that consistency with the guys. But I'm hoping a lot of guys stay for him.
Speaking of that, Diddy, I'm just reading a report right now that Donatel's choosing between staying with the Bears or joining Vic in Denver. So be interesting to see how that plays out. Even though his contract expired with us, he still might possibly be interested in sticking around.
Well, and the thing I think is the major factor there is that Vic has said he is going to continue to call defensive plays even as the head coach. And they asked him about it in the Broncos press conference, and he brought up Nagy, and he basically said, well, he kind of just basically said, well, if Nagy can do it, I can do it, and that's why they hired me because I'm a defensive guy. So Donatel will kind of be like a defensive coordinator in name, and won't get to call plays. So he may not want to uproot himself and go to that situation. I don't know.
I mean, it could very well be the same situation that that Nagy and Helfrich got going on right now.
Right.
Where he goes as the DC and he kind of sits under him, and kind of gets a little more in depth this year in that. And, to basically further himself. I mean, if you can move from a cornerbacks or DB coach to damn DC, I think, and stay in the same system with your guy, with your main boss. I mean, you do that every day of the week, I would think.
Some guys are just number twos, like some guys are just good number twos, and they don't want to be number one.
Like that guy Chase Daniels, bitch.
Right. But they don't, and it's okay to not want to be number one.
Keeping it 100
for everything, and I mean, some guys are good assistant managers, but don't want to be general managers.
Right. Well, you can't blame Vic either. He's 60 years old. There's not a lot of clamor for a 60-year-old defensive coordinator to get hired as a head coach. So
I can't
fault that guy for going out and achieving his ultimate goal. I mean, which is the ultimate goal of any coach. You don't coach just to be an assistant unless you found your niche and you're comfortable with that. He wasn't comfortable with that. He wanted that head coaching spot, and he got it.
Yeah,
I don't know what the future holds for him there. I mean, I really don't. I mean, he doesn't have a quarterback, really. I mean, Case Keenum was good enough to get a Vikings team pretty far, and I wonder how many Vikings fans would take him back right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But if you get him a couple of receivers, if you got him a Thielen and Diggs, I mean, the Broncos also have no receivers. So that's they have running backs.
Any of you guys concerned with the hire of Pagano?
A little bit. I mean, we haven't really seen a whole lot. He's not been a DC for a while, and his Colts teams were kind of towards the end. Whenever Andrew Luck was down, the defense didn't exactly pick him up.
Yeah, but take a look at Ryan Grigson's drafting in the time
it's a team effort.
Right. Well, that's the thing though, is that you go 11-5 3 times. You don't have a lot of draft picks, and then you start to lose. And that's kind of how shit rolls. I don't know. I don't blame him for those years, and I think his experience with Luck would help. Jared, you're right. You have a front
that Colts hate, man. That Colts hate. Open up your heart and let it out.
Yeah. Oh, I move him to fucking Canada. I don't care. I hate him.
I mean, and you guys think that this Donatel thing isn't really that he's choosing between? Do you think it's that Pagano's going to bring in his own guy and that's it? They're just kind of not soft fire him because obviously his contract's up, but just kind of save face and then let him move on.
Yeah, I think if he wants a job there, I think he's got a chance. Thinking about where he went with Kyle Fuller and the DBs this year, I think he coached himself into a better position if he wanted it. But if he goes with Vic, that's fine.
He's been with Vic for 8 years, so
yeah, I know.
I mean, you could make the argument. I don't know, but then there's also the fact that if you fucking win in Chicago, I mean, you're made.
Yep. You don't have to buy forever.
What about the whole talk about Ed Reed coming in as the DB's coach with Pagano?
I like it. I'm down.
Fucking love it.
I mean, he did it in Denver under Rex, or not Denver, Buffalo under Rex for a season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just because you're an all-pro player doesn't mean you're an all-pro coach.
I wouldn't take him over Donatel. I think he brings a lot of experience to the table. I wouldn't be upset about it if Donatel left, but I'd like to keep him.
But he can be. I mean,
money, Diddy.
No, I hear you.
Making it rain up in the club.
He could be. I'd like him on the staff. He doesn't necessarily have to be the secondary coach, but I think having a guy like that on the staff would be big. I mean, especially for Eddie Jackson.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it brings a lot to the table, and maybe it does give some of these guys a new shot. And then, the last talk that they got is of Rob Ryan coming in as the linebacker coach. I don't know how that relationship is between Ryan and Ryan, between Rob Ryan and Ryan Pace from the Saints, if something fell apart there or not. But
why does every time there's a defensive opening, everybody wants to put one of the Ryan kids in it?
Why not? Shit, let's do it.
They're good.
Let's do it. Hey.
That's a defensive royalty.
We haven't won a Super Bowl since. We haven't won a Super Bowl since. So why not do it?
How was that?
They're good. They're good coaches.
How was that? Cleveland.
You're right, but he also coached Akeem Hicks when he was in New Orleans.
Do you see Ryan fitting into all this though? I've seen him him and Jay Cutler used to go back and forth on the sideline. This guy gets into it with players.
That's good. We need to go players more.
What I'm saying, players from other teams. So what you know what I mean? To see, it's going to be interesting if Ryan can actually come in and tone it down as far as fitting into the scheme, to the flow of things. You know what I mean? They're pretty rowdy bunch. It's going to be interesting. I don't have a problem with it. He's a great defensive coach.
That goes back to the leadership. That's for Matt Nagy to set the tone. That's what Matt Nagy said. Everybody that's buying into the system, everybody signs a contract in Chicago is buying into Ryan Pace's and Chicago Bears and Matt Nagy's philosophy and vision. And if you're not part of the solution, that means you're part of the problem. And this is it's a blessing in disguise. Bobby, can I roll real quick on the big hire, and then we'll move to Chuck?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Because I'm actually like you guys were saying, I'm happy for Vic. I'm happy for Vic because 2 years ago, it was saying that he's one of those coaches that will never get a look that deserves a look. And so I'm just happy he's in the AFC. He's far the hell away. We might see him in the Super Bowl. Cool. That's it. And so I'm actually happy about that. And congrats to him and his family. And he's going to, like you said, Double A, it's going to be a John Fox situation. He's going to have to hire an offensive genius to do the offensive coordinator thing while he controls everything else. But whatever. Good luck to him. And with the Chuck, Double A, real quick, how do you feel? Because Chuck used to coach Cleveland Browns as well, too, right, bro?
Pagano used to coach the Browns?
Yeah, he was the defensive backs coach for the early 2000s for like 5 years.
Why you gotta bring up bullshit?
I just want you to have all the information.
You're right. But he had success. He had great success after that.
No, but
you're talking my Brown statement.
You're talking about the old Browns. You're not talking about. You're talking about the Browns that turned into the Ravens and became dominant. You're not talking about the whatever.
Yeah. We're talking about the Art Modell Browns.
I'm just informing my brother. That's all. That's all.
Don't be digging in the crates now. God damn it! I said, why you doing bullshit?
I feel you, bro. But I'm just saying, I think it's a good hire. Like I told you guys the other day, when you guys, I didn't know about Chuck. You guys told me about Chuck, and I'm like, bet my guys gave me something to research on. And what I found is that the guy is a defensive back specialist. And so if you think about it, we had one of the best defensive coaches in the NFL for the past couple years coach our front seven or our linebackers. And now not our weakest link on defense, but this kind of not the MVP group, our young secondary gets a defensive back specialist who got the coach Ed Reed, who got the coach who his defenses, like they said, I think they posted on ChicagoBears.com, have like all together collectively an average of the second fewest net points allowed. That's phenomenal. And then
he holds the record. He holds the record for the least amount of passing touchdowns given up in a season.
Exactly. Yep. And so you have that. Also, he has a combined, I think it's a total of 16 to 18 years. Shout out to my man Nicky for the stat. 18 years head coaching experience. And then you have a guy who's a leader of men. He was a head coach. So you bring leadership. You bring leadership into a factor of coaching defense. And then when we talk about Ed Reed, sometimes guys, when you may not have the coaching pedigree, you may not have all the fancy ass degrees, but you know what's better than an opinion? That's a damn example. And Ed Reed is an example of, hey, if you listen to me, I can show you how to act like a champion.
And when you go get it, bro. Ed Reed can talk to these dudes. Ed Reed talks to these dudes. He can relate. He can relate to them on a different level. There ain't no way that Vic Fangio and Eddie Jackson are cutting it up like they're boys. But Ed Reed can talk to Eddie Jackson like he talks to his boys.
Eddie Jackson, Deion Bush, all the Miami, Florida boys.
All these dudes.
If you do that, it is important because mentorship or just coaching, it has to be bi-directional. If the coach can't relate to the players, then the message gets lost. And Ed Reed is in a bit. And then when you talk about Ryan, well, who else better than to edify and properly promote a Ryan than Ed Reed? You see what I'm saying? Like, guys, there's something bigger at work right now, and it's bigger than a fan perspective. When people are buying into Chicago as a team, as a big market, hey, this isn't about you being Ed Reed from the Ravens. This is about you. Do you want to be a part of a championship caliber organization? Right. And you're coming over to Chicago and saying, let me leave part of myself at home, and I'm gonna come to Chicago and let me just feed into these young players. We have guys. Do you understand? Our best players are 3 years on this team or less, or younger. And we have a chance to mold a championship caliber team with championship caliber leadership. And so I'm actually excited about the Chuck thing because we need aggressiveness. Because why did we lose the Eagles game? Last time we mentioned it, we were 9 yards to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. When like you said, Double A, the other night, we should have been pressing more. And like you guys were saying, when Nick was throwing those ducks, those should have been pick sixes with Eddie Jackson. Yeah. Well, guess what? We have a defensive back coach coaching our DBs.
Well,
breaking news here.
Mhm.
Breaking news. This is Bears Barroom breaking news. So Roy Anderson, who was actually the safeties coach in Chicago, has been informed that he will not return. So there you
That's
go.
right, because Ed Reed coming with that dirty chain. He bringing that chain gang from
And
Miami.
that's from Brad Biggs.
We should have looked up though. Ed Reed actually coached I want to say the Bills secondary in 2016.
16 under Rex.
Yeah, and I
secondary did that year, but
I don't mind Orion here. I just think it's going to be a very interesting fit as far as PR, and like I just like to see if they can actually just like, you know what I mean? Like they're just interesting dudes. Like to see them come in here, and I think knowledge wise, absolutely.
If Ryan
knowledge wise, energy wise, and aggressively wise, and the fact that we have players like Khalil Mack, who guys can't block, who could take that energy and transform it. Ryan don't gotta be loud. He don't gotta be. He has guys that he can give it to, and they can go show it on the field, and then they go promote the coach.
Rob Ryan
and your linebacker and positional coaches aren't required to talk to the media.
Rob Ryan, unlike Cody Parkey, football is who he is. It's not what he does.
No, but the media is gonna. The media is gonna go to him.
He's upset, but that's good.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to talk to him.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I like that. Mike Furry's a fucking wild card too. In years past, we would lose a guy like Fangio and go into a tailspin and like hire some Dowell Loggins equivalent of a defensive coordinator. But like now, we got high profile people with fucking pedigrees and resumes that we're picking from, and that's a huge deal. I mean,
everybody wants to be a part of it.
Go to your point. We gotta understand the fact that a big business. Do you think Ryan Pace or Matt Nagy is gonna allow a hire? Because we're on the clock. Miss McCaskey is on the clock.
The window
When Ryan Pace out with Nagy, he realized his job was on the line. That's why I had no choice but to believe in Matt Nagy. I'm like, yo, if Ryan Pace believes this guy, I'm gonna believe in him because this man just put his job on the line. Because like you said, there, but like he was on the hot seat. And so, do you think Matt Nagy, as the first year coach, going to your second year, you think you're going to allow a stupid ass hire? Excuse my language. No, you're going to do your. If you don't feel like it's going to help the Chicago Bears win a Super Bowl next year, then what the hell are we doing?
Right. One thing this defense does for sure is bring in some of these guys who used to be head coaches and used to be DCs and let them take positional spots because they know how this defense is going to ball out. The possibility.
Yeah, buddy.
And the same thing goes for free agents, man. We'll move on to the next spot. Damn, free agents this year. We got 13 unrestricted free agents going into this offseason.
Right.
I can roll down the list for you if you'd like, but we got 13 unrestricted. We got a couple restricted, and then so here we'll just start with this: 13 unrestricted free agents. We got Bobby Massey, Kevin White, Aaron Lynch, Bryce Callahan, Josh Bellamy, Pat O'Donnell, Eric Cush, Benny Cunningham, Brian Witzman, and did I say Adrian Amos?
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
you did now.
Amos, Callahan,
Adrian Amos, Michael Burton, Nick Williams, Marcus Williams, and Zach Miller. Now, of course, Zach had the contract that, kind of granted courtesy contract, but that's probably gone, I would assume, at the end of this year. I think the big signings for all of us are the Callahan, the Bryce, and the Amos signing. But Erger, why don't you take it away, man? Who's your guy that you must have back or that you think that we absolutely need to have back?
As unpopular of opinion as it might be Massey. And I don't know if you put a restricted tag on him. I'm not he was solid this year. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's a guy that we've got to really think hard about, and his hit's going to be hard. Would I hear $8 million or something like that? I think I think he's replaceable, but at the same token, man, it's hard to find a decent offensive line. Look around. I mean, look at what the Vikings did. And they structured it and everything, and look what our defense did to their offensive line. You know what I'm saying? If you've got a decent unit, if you're above average I'd say it's hard to let him go. But I think in order of importance, I do think it's going to be between Amos and McManus. But the next tier, I think, is Bobby Massey.
Okay, knocking him down, bringing old blade of grass Mass back in here. He did a lot better this year than he did last year, I know. But and I mean, honestly, looking at the free agents that are available this year, there's really not a lot of guys that you think are like break the bank type guys or guys that are must-haves. So those guys were our unrestricted. I'll go through the restricted real quick. And the exclusive right free agents that we got, and then I'll pass it over to AA and let you go down the list of who you want to keep. DHC is a restricted free agent. Roy Robb, he's restricted. Broniker's restricted. Coward's restricted, and Isaiah Irving is restricted. So those are the free agents that we got out of the whole team in general. Who's the guy that you think is a must homegrown dude that we got to bring back?
Out of those guys, or just in general?
Out of any of them in general.
I mean, I want that. I'd like that whole restricted list to come back. I like all those guys. I mean, I think Roy Robb is probably the most important. Probably has the most upside of that group. But I think they put a lot into Coward, and I'd like to see that bear fruit. I think Isaiah Irving, when he got in there, did really well. As far as the unrestricted, I think Aaron Lynch is probably a guy who will go to Denver and follow Vic, and I'm okay with that. I don't think he was that. I think he was all right. I agree with Jared that Amos. I think you need to re-sign him. I like to bring Massey back. I like to bring Callahan back.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I honestly, I mean, I know you guys know, and yeah, whatever. I would rather bring fucking Amos back. I think you keep Amos and Jackson back there together. I know I put it out on Twitter, but
he's so young.
I mean, Amos is, he's younger than Jackson
24.
is. He's younger than he's 25. He's younger than Jackson is, and he's done with his first NFL contract. The kid.
What better time to get the coach's perspective, like Coach Chuck, who knows defense backs. They go Brian Pace. Hey, what do you think? What do you think about Amos? Who do you think they're gonna go to? You think Brian Pace make that decision? Hey, Chuck, do you think there's more potential in this young man? And I think that's so key and ironic that would happen right now.
Yeah.
I don't think Deion Bush is the answer. Yep, I said it. I saw people going out there saying, "Oh, Deion Bush, whoa, whoa, whoa." What did Deion Bush do? I mean, what? Like, I saw him miss a few tackles. He can hit, but I mean, Amos and Jackson are playmakers. You saw it with Eddie Jackson out. Amos stepped up, made plays when he had to. Yes, the penalty was bad. I get it. Yes. But these guys, this is something that, we haven't had a safety tandem like this in a long time.
Mm-hmm. Why break them now?
Yeah, don't break it. Don't let it happen, Bobby.
But do you overpay Bass? But what kind of money? Because you got to remember, Pro Football Focus had him as the number one safety. Are you going to give him $12 million, $15 million next year?
To me,
that's what
you got to keep.
I mean, where's the cap? Where's the cap at?
Because who else is out there?
You got a couple guys available, safety-wise, that you can actually bring in. I mean, the Honey Badger is going to be available if you want to go down that road.
He's going to want that kind of money. I'd rather pay Amos.
Yeah, I mean, Troy Boston left, and he got picked up, and I mean, you got a bunch of guys out there that are actually that are doable, but I like the homegrown. I like keeping who we got.
There you go, homegrown.
I like making our own run at things and doing things that way. And I honestly think Amos knows that, like, where we stopped this year wasn't the peak of where this team can go. And I think he wants to be back.
Agreed.
Do you think he gives the hometown discount?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Well, him and Robinson are boys too, right? They're like pretty close. He had something to do with him getting him here.
Very true.
Yep.
Probably wants to keep that together.
You got Clinton Dix also out there. There's a couple guys out there that you can go after, but I mean, shit, if you want to, you can go get Chris Conte from Tampa Bay.
As what?
Fuck
Hold
that
the
guy.
water?
Man, I'm
Shit, definitely
what?
Instagram.
Nobody want him.
As what?
Garbage.
To give up coverage to blow coverage on third downs or fourth downs? No, thank you.
How about it?
Just to play devil's advocate a little bit on Amos,
Uh-huh.
I think you have to bring him back, but I also have sensed this year that he's been a little distant from the team, just in his tweets. He tweets kind of weird stuff. I don't know if you noticed. He doesn't tweet that often, but he does kind of tweet, kind of like interesting things, like comments on other people's contracts and he'll tweet like Bible passages and things like that. I think if you really put it to him and got him to be honest, I think he's not happy that Goldman got extended and some of these other guys got extended and he didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be interesting if he goes out and tests free agency. What's going to happen? I think he is the guy that you don't want to let that happen with. I think Callahan, you could have him go out and test and we can match the offer or go above it. I know it's not necessarily that situation where it's restricted, but I think with Amos, if they want him back, they got to pay the man.
To me, you look what he did. He didn't allow any of that though to affect the way he played this year.
No, he didn't.
He bought in.
You're right.
He's about the team. He's about the organization, and that to me should show Ryan Pace that, hey, you know what, this guy is about this team. He's about the organization. I'm fine overpaying to keep this tandem together. It doesn't bother me at all to do that.
But let's say that you have, and I don't like getting into cap conversation necessarily, but let's say that you somehow get yourself to $30 million in cap space. You can do it. I mean, I've played around with the little cap calculators and whatever. I mean, what if Amos does, I don't think he'd get 15, but he could easily command a $10 million a year contract. I mean,
yeah, I think easily he gets 10. I mean, this dude, we're looking out of 1,120 snaps on defense, he played 1,096. He didn't miss a snap. He was 1,000 or 100% of the snaps that he was supposed to be in on. He was in on.
I just hope that I really hope that they don't let him go out and test the waters, because if he tests the waters, I think he's going to get that. I mean,
but he definitely will, because just checking out Pro Football Week or whatever, like the top five safeties, and there's actually one safety that I would take over Amos, just to be honest, because I will take Amos back, and I agree with everything you guys just said. But like for the top five, number 5, Joyner from the Rams. Ha Kitten Dix, 4. Earl Thomas, he's old, whatever, respectfully. Yeah. Number 3. And then Amos is number 2. But guys, number 1, free agent safety available, fucking Landon Collins. I'll take Landon Collins, dog. If the price is right, if Amos is asking for too much, whatever, Lance Collins, he was almost a defensive MVP last year. And he picks the ball, he runs the shit back. But in terms of homegrown talent, yeah, why not? But are we going to ignore the signs, like you said, Double A? That separation, is there a backstory to that? Is there a backstory to that separation? Is it really just about the money? Because the thing is, you're on your rookie deal. It's your job to make your own worth. It's not the organization's job. And so, what are we going to make a business? Are we going to make a business decision? Because are we in it to save money, or to have, like, the best product on the field? Can we afford to be cheap at safety to spend more money on our pass rush? Like, it all depends about the rest of the team. Because what I believe Ryan Pace said, because as a GM, you got to have it. You got to have your mindset. Okay, secondary, we spend this much. Linebackers, we spend this much. You know what I'm saying? Front 4, front 3, where we spend this much. So it really goes back to Ryan Pace's vision. But between Amos, but to have our safety as a top 2, top 3, top 5 safety available, you got to resign him. You got to resign him, especially when you draft them in. Especially when you draft them and you build them up. Why would you build them up and let them go somewhere else and be great?
You have to be strong up the middle. I mean, you like how good is that to have Goldman, Roquan, and Amos, locked up?
That would be 3 years in a row. The secondary will return intact.
Right.
Yeah, and you've also got to figure in how Chuck Pagano's philosophy at that position too. He's going to have a lot of say. So, like you talked about earlier, he's going to have a lot of say as to who he wants and who he doesn't want. And I think we all love Amos. I think we all think he's a pretty stand-up dude. We've had him on Bears Barroom before, and he's been gracious with his time with us. And
will we franchise tag him?
We would love to see that. That's where you can get into a tag situation. You can drop a restricted tag on him. You can drop a.
Yeah, I think they can do it. I think you can do a transition tag, but I don't like how. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that will. In my experience,
would you use it at all? If you're going to use it, that's the position you'd use it at, I'd think.
And if we did it on punk ass Jeffries, why wouldn't we do it on a quality guy like Amos?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
We have a tag. I mean, okay, so let's go this way. Which of these guys would, like, out of all those players, who are you going to use the tag on?
Amos.
But here's the thing: is that you just said what the other safeties are that are available. So what the tag will mean is that he's going to get a match top basically 5, of that salary. So
and that's good because these other guys ain't really that good to me. I mean,
I think Landon Collins and Clinton Dix, and I think all those guys are going to get paid.
But
the best thing that could happen to us is that Landon gets tagged too, because then you're only dealing with you're not dealing with the top 5. You're dealing with
we're not, guys.
You're dealing with the top 5 that are getting paid.
Hello,
top 5 money is what you're dealing with, not who the top 5 players are. It's a totally different perspective. Yeah, it's a different perspective when you look at that. It's the top 5 guys that are actually getting paid, not the top 5 free agents.
So then, in my case, if you don't use it on Amos, maybe you use it on Bobby Massey. I mean, maybe that's a return. Well, maybe that's a return on investment. You know what I'm saying?
I'm hoping
Bobby Massey would get too much money that way.
Put a 4th round tender on Massey.
Yeah, Bobby Massey would get a hell of a lot of money.
He would get a huge raise doing that. Too much raise.
I hope we get this extension done with Amos though, without any drama. I just hope it's something quick.
Yeah, I think Bryce's injury kind of. I mean, unfortunately, but I think it kind of helps us with his injury and Sherrick playing out. Sherrick McManus coming in and balling out kind of shows you that. Yeah, Bryce is great, and we'd pay him. But look, Bryce, like McManus kind of filled in for you, man, and he did well. We'll give you some money, but we ain't gonna give you a top dollar that maybe you're looking for. This is what we think is a fair assessment, and you've got some injury concerns, and we'll see how you battle back. Maybe we do a 2-year on you, and go from there. Obviously, he's not gonna want a 2-year; he's gonna want more. But I don't know what people give him.
I mean, I look at Bryce as a guy who will probably get like a 3-year, about $15 million, maybe $10 million guaranteed type of deal. And that'd be a pretty big raise for him. I mean, I know that may be under some of what the nickel corners are getting paid. Whereas I see Amos is probably more in like the 4-year, $36 million type of range with maybe, 20 guaranteed. That kind of thing. I mean, that's what I would see.
Yeah, another thing that's going to be tough is the acquisitions we made last offseason and when their contracts expire and what you think these guys are going to be doing at that time, and who, I mean, obviously if they're all pushing 30 at that time, you're okay. But you still, I mean, obviously you still want to build through the draft, take your shots on some young free agents and see what you can get there. You just don't want to get to a team to where you're coming towards the end of the season and now you got like 5-6 dudes who are top playmakers and their contracts are expiring, because that's when the floodgates open and those dudes are leaving.
Good point. Good point.
So we'll have all off season to talk more free agency stuff and guys that are around and guys that are coming. We'll see who these guys go out and get. I mean, we got obviously the later round draft picks this year and all that stuff. We've hit on them in the past. We could hope that Pace continues to work that magic and do the things that he needs to do with these dudes in the later rounds and building this team with depth. I mean, we got a lot of depth. We got a lot of dudes on the practice squad that may find themselves coming up. We got a lot of dudes that kind of you've seen that second defense in the Vikings game come out and ball out. So, I mean, some of those guys might step up. I think Prince's days are numbered, man. Prince is old. His days are numbered. We're going to have to find somebody to fill in. I think he kind of became the guy that other teams started picking on because they know that he's playing off a little bit or that they can get to him. The seasons aren't short, man. And for somebody of that age, seasons aren't short. That shit catches up to you quick, man. I mean, you just can't move the way you used to. So, I mean, there's going to be guys that we're looking for and guys that we're trying to fill. A lot of holes to fill this offseason. I think
overall there aren't that many holes, though. I think the biggest depth issues are offensive line and defensive backs. That's what I would look at as the top priorities. We just kind of mentioned that, but I don't feel like this offseason in particular. I'm super concerned about like gaping holes. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're pretty. Like, I feel like, even if, like, let's say that we lost all those guys, I feel like maybe there are some second-tier guys who could fill in and leave us in pretty good situation.
Yeah, I'm honestly, so I'd say number one for me would be Amos. Number two for me would be Callahan. And then I would go Massey. And then everybody else, I really don't fucking care, honestly. I don't think it would be a big hurt to lose them. I don't think it's going to be something that destroys this team. If one of them does roll out, you do have a lot of linemen leaving if you don't sign these guys, though. I mean, Massey, Cush, Woodsman, obviously Miller. I mean, he didn't play this year, but you got a lot of these guys that would be leaving, and you're going to be looking for depth, and you're going to be looking for these guys to come out. But that's another thing that your bear down is going to have to handle, you know what I'm saying? And work his way back into training these dudes and getting them to where they need to be.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'd like to see Witzman back. I don't care about Cush. I like to, like I said, I think the whole restricted list, I'd like to see them get brought back if there's not too much money. I don't know how it works, but I think Roy Robertson Harris is the guy that might get some money thrown at him.
Yeah, some love from other teams out there.
Right.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think he's a guy that, I mean, you see him, he's an up-and-comer. I could easily see people going after him and trying to get him over there. DHC is another one. I mean, if somebody's looking for a second-tier, kind of safety to come in and fill, Houston Carson isn't a bad deal. And I mean, Broniker too. There's guys out there. Coward. I don't know if Coward really gets the looks that maybe we would want him to get. And I know he's a fan of the show and that, but I don't really see Coward getting the looks that people say that he's going to get, because I just don't see that happening. I think that's more of a
and that's great. And that's great for us.
Yeah, I think that's more of a fanboy type thing for us to believe that he's going to be in. People are going to be battling over his contract. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't see that. I think he gets a little bit of a raise. I mean, he's making $1 million this year. He might get I just want him on the damn active roster. Like, get him in the rotation. I mean, I don't think he can just take over for Massey. I mean, I don't know.
No.
I mean, that'd be great. That'd be pretty ready.
That's why I think it's important that we lock Massey up. When you get a guy that plays that tackle position remotely well, you better hold on to him as long as you can.
Exactly. I mean, you see every team in the league trying to find right tackles, trying to replace right tackles, overpaying for right tackles. I mean, guys that.
But at the same time, never mind. I don't know, man. If there was a fucking bear, hey, hold on. Did I pass on bear down? It's fucking Massey.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Nah, man. Fucking Mitch is my quarterback, man. No, man. Every fucking time. If I'm sorry. If there was one weak link out of the bunch, with all due respect, nah, it's too much pressure, man. My man, his feet, the lateral movement wasn't there for me. And I don't know. I'll go
Who
back.
do you? You have to replace him though.
I know, but are you going to overpay?
No.
What's the number? You talking about $5 million, $3 million? Cool.
He's already making 8.
He's making 8? So okay, we're going to 6 then. So we're going to 6
No, he's not getting less.
I'm going over 6.
He's not getting a pay cut.
Nah, man. I saw too much dirt on Mitch, bro. I saw my man Mitch jersey was too dirty, man. See, nah, bro. Sorry, fam. Show me.
I mean,
okay. How about a baseline of $6 million with $9 million of incentives, like all together, and we'll do it that way. We need to. I like the incentive-based contracts. If we're going to give out
with all that,
that's what I got to do, or we got to move on, or we're going to draft better. Like I told you guys before, I won't be mad or upset if our first 2 picks are offensive linemen. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but you don't get that great of. I mean, although Leno was a 5th-round pick.
You guys out here making it rain, man. I think we're already over the cap. Just going by what you guys are saying, right?
Yeah. But Gaines got
you see me? I'm trying to save money, Diddy. I'm trying to save money. They're trying to get people raises.
Gaines got Massey taking a pay cut.
Gaines putting them all on incentives and shit. He's like, oh,
Massey,
you were 5 minutes late for practice?
Yeah, Massey's like, I'm the starting right tackle of a 12-4 division-winning team. You want me to take a pay cut? Shit.
Like, bro. For the team.
Yeah, but there's got the other guys out there, man. And
Kyle Long needs to restructure. That's all I know.
These coming weeks, we're going to have Aldo and Danny going out to the Senior Bowl, so we'll be getting some reports from them on guys that are up and coming and guys to take a look at. Phil's going to start his whole draft analysis and draft breakdown of a player for us to look at. Unfortunately, our season is a wrap. We got the NFC Championship game next week between the LA Rams and the New Orleans Saints, and then you got the Chiefs and the Patriots battling each other for that AFC Championship. And we'll see how this whole thing comes down, man. I'm gonna, pass it around the room, make just quick shout outs, wrap up the year, quick shout outs. I'll close this thing out after you guys are done. Give a quick shout out to the Barflies and, your little piece for the year end show. Let's start this thing off with you, Jared. What you got?
My biggest shout out is just to the people that have given us a chance, whether it be Aldo, Shane, Phil, to the Barfly that's listening to us, and to my guys right here that I'm talking to and that I talk to pretty much every day, every week. That's going to be the hardest part of the off season, is not talking to my boys as much. And I love you guys. Love what we've done here. And hopefully we get to continue to grow and just keep learning and keep doing our process and doing our things, man. Big things popping. And how you want game put up. How you want it. Tell me how you want it. How you want it. How you want it, AA.
Hey,
we want to win.
It's a simple question.
That's right. That's right. And we got big things coming for our Bears, so a lot to be excited about. Stay tuned in the bar room. They will keep you up on it.
Damn straight. AA, what you got, man?
I mean, I think Jerry, as we like to say, he hit the nail on the head. He knocked it out of the park. We just keep winning, man. I mean, the bar room keeps winning.
That's what the pony does. He goes hard.
Yep.
The hole.
That's right. And there's no such thing as moral victories, and second place is definitely the first loser. But it's been a long time since we've had an organization and a feeling like this around the Bears. So, and living here, there's nothing like when the Bears are good in this town. And everybody that lives here and works in the industry, or the sports industry or the restaurant business or anything that's kind of associated with entertainment and when the Bears are good, it's a whole different thing. The Cubs are one thing, the White Sox are another thing, the Bulls are another thing. The Bears, and that's in people's blood. And it was it was just exciting, man. And this team is different in that I do believe they will be back, and it's not pie in the sky. It's not bullshit to say that they will be back. And, they got guys that you can buy jerseys for and feel good about it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be, with any Filene's basement bullshit, Michael Lombardi. Like, we can buy a Khalil Mack jersey. We can buy a Mitchell Trubisky jersey. We can buy, an Allen Robinson jersey and feel good about it. And we're going to wear it for a while. And, so it's just shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us, and shout out to you guys for doing it the way that you do it. And, it's just onward and upward, and we're going to keep on winning just like the Bears are going to keep on winning.
Well said, man. Well said. Badge coming your way, man. What you got on shout outs and any year closeouts?
Yeah, man. I can't thank, you guys enough, man, for getting me involved, from the outset. I appreciate Bobby, Diddy, Jer, Double A, Gaines, Nikki, Kurtz, man. Like, you guys got me involved. Aldo, Phil, Shane, I can't thank them enough for the opportunity. My wife and daughter for putting up with me, yelling and swearing and, throughout the season, early on a Sunday morning and late into Sunday night, for example, tonight. But Barflies, without you guys, man, this doesn't go on. And, I can't appreciate everything that everybody that's on this show and all the other barroom shows that they've done enough. And the Chicago Bears organization, man, it's been a long time since we've had a season like this, and to see where they are and where they could go, man, I just can't wait. Like, I want it to be training camp already. So I appreciate y'all, man, and I love doing this, and I'm looking forward to next season already.
Yeah, for sure, man. Big Games, what you got, brother?
First and foremost, man, I'm just like, I'm proud. I am freaking proud of my franchise. When did I become a Bears fan? There wasn't a time that didn't exist when I wasn't a Bears fan. Evanston Township Hospital. And just from the bad times and the good times, and I got spoiled by the Bulls by thinking all Chicago teams won all the time. And we're going through the Bears and just appreciating going through the bad. I'm proud to be a Bears fan. And that was before this year. That was before the hype. That was before punk ass NFL Network, excuse my language. And it's just an honor to have you guys along with the ride, and to have a platform to talk, and to have an awesome audience like the Bar Room and the Barflies that check us out. And from Aldo Gandia, Shane Marsaw, and Phil Atoshi, man, Bobby, we had talks before the jump started, and people talk a talk, man. But to be affiliated, to have you guys a part of my personal circle, man, I'm honored, man. I don't do too much outside of business and work and take care of my daughters, man. Being a single dad or being whatever it is, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of spring cleaning over the years. And this was 2018 was a trying year for me, fam. And you guys are a part of that success that you can overcome adversity, just like our Bears have done. And so I'm really, really honored and happy to have you guys as friends and as podcast radio partners. And I'm grateful for the Bar Room, for Bears Bar Room, for giving us the network. And it's been a freaking blast. And it sucks that it's over this quick, but we're going to be back. In one way or another, we'll be back. And I'm proud, man. Rock and roll, OTAs, let's go.
Damn straight. B-Dids, close it out, man. What you got?
Hey, man, I just go back to like last January. We're trying to do some practice runs and trying to get this going, and just how no, seriously though, how it's all played out, and the people that have joined in, man. This is a solid crew, and I enjoy every time we get on. Like I'm talking, it's like we're all boys, man, and just being able to have this outlet to talk Bears, like Gaines said, man. It's just been awesome, and to be able to cover the season we just covered on top of it as our first season to cover. You can't get much better than that, man. It's just been incredible meeting up with you guys, and you're just a solid crew, man. This is my squad, really, and I just really enjoyed rolling through this season with you guys. And Aldo, thank you for believing in us and giving us this opportunity, and stick with the Barroom for the best off-season coverage for Bears coverage around.
Well done, man. All right, Barflies. That's it, man. That's the last tailgate show of this football season you're going to get. Thank you for joining us this season. It's been a blast bringing you guys the game day mornings and, bullshitting in the chat and just keeping it real throughout the week and just throwing everything at you when we can. Obviously, the Godfather, Aldo, thank you for giving us the keys, man. Letting us just do what we do and, just free reign to just go ahead. Like anything that we come up with, you're like, yeah, fuck it. Throw it. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Always supportive in there and ready to break it down, man. And we appreciate everything. Shane, Phil, you guys too, man, always bringing it. Ready to come on if needed. And otherwise just give us some constructive criticism and feedback on how things are going. Barflies, that's it for us, man. But this year the bar ain't closing. I mean, maybe serve up a little less drinks, but that shit's still gonna be open. You got your Bears Hour Live, you got damn 100 Proof on tap. We'll still be coming at you with some of these Senior Bowls, like we said, and draft breakdown. Who's gonna be the fucking Godfather this year? Are we gonna find a kicker? Are we trying to draft a kicker early? There's gonna be some sort of talking bullshit and rant and raving and people pissing on each other about some player. So stick with the Barroom. You're gonna get it. The Barfly Tailgate Show on all the Barroom Radio Network shows are brought to you by Verdoliak Law Group. If you're injured on the job, hurt at work, whatever you think they're trying to screw you after your injury, you ain't getting what you need. Visit Verdoliak.com. Tell them what's going on, see what they can help you out with. I'm sure they'll be there for you, ready to go. Don't forget to visit Tick Splits. Old Mike out there slanging tickets. Hell, you want to go to the Super Bowl? You want to go do some Super Bowl weekend shit? Hit up Tick Splits. See what they got for you. They're in the Barroom. They've been hitting it hard, man. And even, you got this offseason coming on. You'll be looking for your baseball. Maybe some of you get into basketball, start paying attention. Tick Splits is all those tickets for you. So get over there, find those tickets, get to these games and just spoil the family, spoil the kids, make some new fans out of people in the family. This show and all the Barroom shows are available on your pod stream, or go to bearsbarroom.com. Visit that, see what they got over there. You'll see, the tape never lies. Phil up over there on YouTube putting out all of his tapes. Just if you ain't seen one, just whatever, backtrack. It ain't like any of it's gonna change. It's a real film broke down by a real dude, just giving it to you how it is. Once again, Barflies, thanks for joining us this season. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing this shit to you guys. We look forward to maybe surprising you this off season with a show here or there. We'll just see how things work out. To my dudes in here, man, love you dudes. It's been real this season. Thanks for sticking it out, and through the ups and downs and the drop calls and the fucking missed feeds and the fucking people eating chips and all kinds of from the real tailgates to the non-real tailgates to the damn I can't hear anything, I gotta go type shit. Either way, man, we've gone through it all, and next year we're just gonna tighten it up a little bit and bring it all back to you guys. For sure, bullshitting with you guys throughout the week is always big, And this is it, man. Wrapping up the first season. Congratulations to you dudes on that first season. But, let's get one last one in there for the boys. Just, you got to remember, man, always bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down, baby.
Bear down.